Hello, my name is Paul Jenkins, Managing Director of UK Packaging Innovation Consultancy, ThePackHub. I'm joined today by Neil Cashman, CEO of Snapsil. Hello, Neil.
Nice to join you, Paul.
Thank you very much for joining us today. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what Snapsil does.
Okay, so myself, I've got over 20 years experience in senior marketing and innovation roles with major multinational companies internationally. That was prior to joining Snapsil, and I joined Snapsil 9 years ago because I became very passionate about packaging through my past careers. For me, packaging is one of those items that can make a real difference in terms of consumer loyalty and being able to differentiate brands. I joined Snapsil 9 years ago when it was just a startup company, and we had just filed our first patent into easy-to-use technology, which is what Snapsil does. Basically, in a nutshell, we make packaging easier to use in terms of opening, easier to use in terms of controlling the product once it's open, easier to use in the hand, and even to reclose. And Snapsil's now grown over those 9 years. It has a wide range of products which span food categories, personal care categories, and also more recently, we've moved into the pharmaceutical world.
Excellent. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit more about the specific applications you've got then for Snapsil?
So I think we've been, most people out there would probably have heard of us somewhere over the past 9 years ago. In the first iteration of our technology, we were really suitable for food, single-serve food and beverage products. So we had some launches in Europe, the USA, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, across predominantly condiments products. So the little sauce products or mustard that you'll put onto a hot dog, where I think most people would recognise, trying to hold a pie or a hot dog and open a sachet at the same time can be a little bit challenging, where Snapsil enables you to basically just click it open and apply directly to the hot dog. So we launched a number of products in condiments. We also launched a number of products in the US in green care. So single-use fertilizers, even ant baits and pest baits. We were able to design some options for there as well. Recently, we've moved into the pharmaceutical world, whereby, and we did that because we saw the need for easier-to-use packaging incredibly, heightened within the pharmaceutical world. So if you think about, your typical users, they tend to be more elderly. As we get older, we tend to rely on medication a bit more, or they're users that have an ailment which is affecting their dexterity and just their motor skills. And we were sort of, started to cry, to be quite honest, when we saw people struggling on a daily basis to get into medication they needed that was essential for their health. So we developed up, basically applied a new generation of technology which can be used right across pharmaceutical applications, be it solid dose tablets, be it liquids, be it powders, even medical devices, all with the features that it can be opened very simply and easily with one or two hands, and the dispensing can be very well controlled. So rather than having a pill pop out of a blister pack, for instance, and you have to search around the table or on the floor for it, basically when you open a Snapsil pill pack, the tablet will be held in the pack. So it's very easy to take it to your mouth or tip it into your hand.
Excellent. And so can you explain a little bit more about how the Snapsil products are made?
Snapsils are made using standard thermoforming processes. Okay. So people will see out there, there's lots of machines, multivac in food, for instance. They're leaders in what we call form, fill, seal machines. So basically a roller film, basically it's heated, it's formed into a base shell, it's then filled and then sealed. So Snapsil makes use of existing technologies that are around the world and widely spread in the production process. They're also widely used in the pharmaceutical world for tablet blisters. And basically, all our technology resides in the actual forming tool. So we've basically patented the ability to basically crack a material, and then rather the crack just going off in random directions like you'd expect a crack to do, basically we can steer that crack into whatever shape or whatever direction that we require with execution. So it's not a new system, new production system technology that people have to invest in. It's proven technologies that are around the world, and those machines are just adapted a little bit for Snapsil's requirements. So form fill seal, we're also suitable for fill seal technology. So just your standard, there's many converters out there converting trays for people. Those trays are delivered to customers, and they're just using standard fill seal machines. And Snapsil can also be produced those ways. So polymer-based materials and standard production systems that are around the world.
Excellent. And what do you think is the market need is for easy-to-use packaging?
Oh, I think I challenge everyone out there to start to Google, difficult to use packaging and see what comes up.
Yeah.
There's an incredible frustration out there, and I think it's just a real unmet need. And the studies we see, I was astounded by this. 80% of people claim to be frustrated by packaging. And for me, that's a real failing on companies. It seems to us that over the past decades, the focus on packaging has been cost down, cost minimization. And we've got to a point where packaging is now, cost optimized to an inch of its life, and we've neglected the need for, better functionality. And there's a few things that are driving that need. I think, first of all, there is a global megatrend of an aging population, which is happening around the world. So by just a few little figures, so by United Nations are saying by 2050, 2.1 billion people will be aged over 60. Yeah. And that's going to represent almost 20% of the global population. Yeah. Now, if we accept that as you get older, the hands don't really work like they used to. Mine's sort of been slowing down compared to 20 years ago. And then, the skills, the fine skills that you need to open some of the packaging formats out there become more difficult. Also, the mind slows down a little bit. So finding those little tabs on peel seal tubs or sachets becomes more difficult. The eyes, a lot of us need glasses now, but a lot of times we don't have it. So where do I actually open? So what Snapsil's able to do is actually to create packaging, which first of all is just intuitive and easy to open. So they look at the pack, they can see simply where it's eased, and they can open it one hand if it's easy, well, they can open it two hands. Yeah. And then rather than have all those contents spurt out, through the gymnastics you need to do to open some of these packs without them having flying all over your business shirt when you're flying, we can control the dispensing rate and the evacuation of the product. So, so for me, there's an existing frustration out there for the need for better packaging, easier to use packaging. There's a growing need that's coming at us from in terms of the aging population. And I just think as a brand owner, there's a moment of truth, where you've worked so hard to get the formulation right, be it the taste, be it the way it feels when it's applied to the skin, and you're looking for that fantastic experience, only to have your packaging right at that critical moment before it's applied let you down. Yeah. So where we think we can benefit customers is to give customers, a packaging which is differentiated, so very different to what's in the marketplace, but also preferred, and at the end of the day, if you had a great packaging experience coupled with a great product experience, you're more likely to retain that consumer over time.
Okay, brilliant. So how does Snapsil make packaging easier to use?
Okay, so effectively, I've got a little product here, for instance. Yeah, so okay. This is just a pharmaceutical syringe product. Yeah. So if you think about how syringes are normally packaged, they're packaged in sort of like a flexible film that you've got to sort of struggle to open. You get it moving, then all of a sudden it sort of explodes and the syringe goes flying. Yeah. Where Snapsil, what we're able to do onto the base tray, we're able to basically thermoform a little opening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And effectively, this pack then becomes as simple to open as just like that. Yeah. And we've been able to present the syringe very simply there. You know, so very easy to actually execute. And if we wanted to, we can have a little reclose feature on that as well. Yeah. So what we're able to do, I hope most people would agree, you know, the idea of being able to open packaging, you know, intuitively, simply, and then having a product present well, or, you know, in terms of, you know, dispensing or evacuation control very well, is a step forward from things like sachets, many of the tubs that we can do. The materials can be altered in a way that they can be made very rigid to be very protecting of the product, or they can be made more lower gauge materials can be actually enable crushing, which actually can assist with the evacuation of a product. We can change the opening size and shape, so we can actually dispense from like a free pour where the product comes immediately out and comes out completely out, or to do it on a drop by drop basis by changing the opening size. So, you know, for the pharmaceutical world, that enables them to basically dose more accurately, you know, have more controlled dosing, so the patient's taking the right amount of the medication.
Excellent. Okay. Do you have any new product developments that Snapsil you're working on that you're able to share?
Yeah, we do. We've just launched, and you'll be able to find it on our website, a product that we called Easy Mix. Yeah. One of the things we've seen, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, is a need for easier reconstitution of two separate products. Mm-hmm. So currently, sort of what happens is, you know, to mix something, you know, you've got to have the two separate products, and you've got to either weigh out or syringe out a quantity in this vial, put it into that vial, mix it around, and then use it out. Yeah. What we've been able to do, and again, I've got a little picture here, is basically create a package whereby we've kept two products separate. In this case, it's a powder, and down here it's a pill. Yeah. And those things can't interact with each other. Yeah. Yeah. So the pill is separated from the liquid in the package. Yeah. Now to open this, simply what we need to do is, and we've dispensed the liquid down into the bottom where it can be mixed with the tablet in that case, and then simply opened and poured into basically a glass. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
So we think that's quite a breakthrough, because what it's done is actually reduced the amount of packaging needed, simplified the process. This would facilitate much more on home, out of hospital, out of professional care mixing, and just made it really easy for the consumer, and potentially extended shelf life of those compounds, because quite often those two have to be mixed together because reconstitution is too hard. But in this case, you can keep them separated to the point of use.
Really good. And in terms of sustainability and the materials used, have you got sort of end of life plans for the?
Yeah. So what we do is we partner. So Snapsil basically focuses on the design and licensing of our technology. So what we do is we, just like a design agency that you would a customer would work with to create a new bottle, etc. We would develop a solution for the customer's need, because the technology is incredibly flexible. I can change shape, I can change pack shape, so I can mimic larger bottles that they may have. I can change opening size, I can change opening force, I can change ergonomics in the hand. So I can actually custom design the technology for the customer need. But to assist the customer with the commercialization process, we also have cooperation partners around the world. In machines, Multivac, for instance, who are global leaders in form field seal machines, they're able to come in and recommend machine solutions for the customer. But also on materials, we work with companies like Amcor, Clock-the-Pentaplast, who are able to provide material solutions for the customer as well. So in terms of sustainability, you know, they're able to take into account the product's barrier needs, and also, you know, identify where the customer wants to sit in terms of a sustainable solution. And then we work as a the three parties work together to basically come up with a total solution for the customer.
Excellent. And what countries is Snapsil available in?
Snapsil's available in the US, all through Europe, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, and soon to be many more.
Excellent. That's fighting talk. Excellent. So what's the best way for anyone to get in contact with Snapsil to find out more?
So if they go to snapsil.com, basically down there you'll find an info tab where they can basically click on contact us, and we'll be in contact real soon.
Excellent, Neil. Neil Cashman, thank you very much. Your passion and expertise has come flooding through there. I really enjoyed our conversation tonight. So thank you very much.
Enjoyed the discussion, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.